Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to make a potato soup, and I've already cut up 4 large onion, which you can see right there. And yeah, so it's a simple recipe. If you like potatoes, it's usually a very hearty meal, especially this time of year and in the winter. And potato soup, you can make enough of it that you can even freeze it. And when you thaw it out and cook it or heat it up, it tastes just as good as it did the first day you made it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. And hopefully you'll enjoy, and hopefully you'll try the recipe yourself. So I am going to finish cutting all this up, chopping it up finely. You can have it, the pieces of onion, as big as you want if you like onion. If you don't like onion, you can cut back on the amount of onion you put in. Another thing that I also put in after it's all said and done is chives. Sometimes I'll use green onion just to add a bit of color. It just depends on what your preference is. Either way, it's a forgiving recipe, so you can add to it, subtract from it, pretty much do whatever you want with it to your own taste. So again, this was 4 large onion that I'm chopping, and I will be putting this in the pot. Seems like a lot of onion, but it will cook down, and it will cook with the potatoes that I will be putting in with it. Now the potatoes, 12 large potatoes, and before I start peeling those, I'm going to cook some bacon. Which will be added to the potato soup at the end. So I'm gonna cook this up. Again, bacon, it's a matter of taste. You can put in as much or as little as you want. My husband is a huge bacon lover, so the more bacon, the better for his taste. So I'm going to be doing 6 thick slices of bacon. While that's cooking, I'm going to finish peeling the potatoes. So there's 12 large potatoes. Excuse the phone. My husband's in the garage, so hopefully he answers it. Now, for those of you who are wondering if you can use any kind of potato you want, you can. It doesn't matter whether it's red potato, Yukon Gold, white potato. The only thing that I need to stipulate is you absolutely have to peel them. Even if you have new potatoes, you should still peel the skin because you don't want that in your soup. And there are some people that wouldn't eat the soup if the skin is in there. So I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't like peeling potatoes. I'm not a fan of it myself, but you do what you gotta do. And this takes the longest out of everything, and that's peeling the potatoes and cooking the bacon. The rest is easy peasy. I am, and I'm recording.
I love your potato soup.
Yes, you do. Especially if there's lots of bacon.
That's right.
Yes, like he said, you can, he said kielbasa. You could put ham in the soup if you wish. If you have leftover ham and you're not quite sure what to do with it, this is another thing you can put it in, is your potato soup. You can even have both bacon and ham, depending on how meaty you want your soup. All right, so that's 12 large potatoes peeled. And I think I'm going to turn some light on in here because it's that's better. All right, so I'm just going to set this on there. Don't need that anymore. Now the bacon, cook it until it's crisp. Don't burn it, but if you feel that your bacon is overcooked, I wouldn't panic about it because once it's in the soup, it'll soften up again. Just don't burn it. You don't want it black. All right, so that's that. Now, now you chop up the potatoes, and if you have an easier way of doing it than I do, that's great, but I do it the old-fashioned way. I cut them in chunks because once the potato is soft, then you're going to mash them. Not like a smooth mash, but just to kind of break it up. And if that light doesn't stop doing that, I might have a epileptic fit. Hey Teddy, what are you doing? Hmm? Lovely. Then put water in it. Then bring it to a boil. Bacon. just tidy up the workstation a bit. Not sure where you guys all live, but we compost here. Even if we don't have our own garden, we still compost, and it gets picked up by the city. And that cuts down on the amount of garbage. Because our garbage, because you don't have any food items in it, goes out once every 2 weeks, the general garbage. And then we have Blue Box, which is all our recycled plastics and paper. Turn off the bacon, and yeah, so I think that's probably good for now, and it's going to take a few minutes to boil, so I'll get back to you very soon. So now that the potatoes are cooked, I'm gonna turn it down, and I'm gonna take the masher and I am going to mash the potatoes just so it's not in such big chunks. It'll be smaller chunks. And then once that is done, then I'm going to put in, you can put in 2 cans of carnation milk, or you can put in 1 can, and I'm going to use as cooking cream only because I already had it, and so I'm going to use that. You can even use, I've even used whipping cream because I didn't have enough carnation milk, and it all works out the same in the end. Then you pour this in like that. And then this, I'm going to pour this in. Give it a stir. used to use a bigger pot than this one, but it's at camp. so I'm gonna stir this, and I'm gonna try and be as careful as I can. And then once you've done that, 1 cup of margarine. You can use butter as well. I use margarine only because I prefer margarine myself. But for those of you who are butter lovers, you can use butter. My husband prefers butter. But when it comes to cooking, I would rather use margarine instead of wasting the butter. It all tastes the same in the end anyway. And then once it's melted, I'm going to add some parsley, just a sprinkle of parsley. Pepper. Now the pepper is all about what you prefer taste-wise. Some people like a lot, some people don't like a lot. And I'm also going to throw in some chives. Stir. And then the very last thing to go in is the bacon, and which I had put aside. And then you just break up the bacon with your hands and just throw it in. And then once you've done all that, then you can just let it simmer for a bit until all the flavors mix together. Preferably use a bigger pot than I did. Had I cut the recipe in half, which you can cut it in half and use 6 large potatoes. But I wanted to make sure that I had enough that I could freeze for later. So that's it for the potato soup. And so we're just gonna let this simmer. And then it'll be ready to eat for when we sit down and eat our supper. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will try out the recipe because it is very tasty. Thank you for watching. So here we are, the finished product, the potato soup, and I've chosen sourdough bread. You can either have crusty roll, dinner rolls, whatever you prefer. And, but yes, so this is the finished product, and I know it's going to taste as good as it smells. Thank you for watching, and join me next time. The next soup I hope to make it will be either cabbage hamburger soup, excuse the dog, or a cauliflower cheddar. I haven't quite decided yet. And I'm also going to be making zucchini bread. So yeah, hopefully you can join me, and hopefully the next time I record, my dog will be just a little bit quieter. Anyways, just so you can see, here he is, Teddy. Say hello to the camera. Hello. Thanks for watching.